All right. So I want to welcome everybody. So we'll just take stock of what we have done so far in the last 1 week since the last meeting. Then we'll probably discuss our challenges if there are any. Then we'll now discuss when it's convenient for us to have our first observation session. Preferably is not like it's going to be the main thing, except you're able to get or decide on a target in line with the exoplanet project before that. If not, we'll it's just going to be a demo, kind of demo interaction for those people. Okay, yeah, good. Amanda just joined in. That's awesome. Good afternoon, Amanda.
Hi guys, sorry for joining late.
It's okay. We weren't sure you joined in today, so we're just getting started, trying to know where to start from today, and taking stock of what we've added within the past 1 week. So I also suggested to Adam, if it's possible, let us have our first observation session either this week or next, as at his own convenience, at least like a demo for those that just joined the project. If we are lucky to have a target before then, in regards to the exoplanet, then it's okay. If not, we just take a random target and get acquainted with the process for the new persons, and also to be a kind of a vision for us that for some of us that have forgotten how it is done, or if there's a new syntax of codes or format that's been added since the last time. So we will just leave the floor open for every other person here to update us on what he or she has done in the last 1 week, and if there are any challenges, if there are suggestions, opinions, and all that, so that we can know where to kick off from. So who is going first? Amanda, do you have anything to, as word of maybe introduction, or maybe something you want us to keep in mind during the meeting? We can ponder over it as we progress. I'll wait for the first person to update us on what has happened. Yeah.
Can you say that last part again? I didn't catch it.
Okay, I was saying that if there is any probably something you want us to ponder over while we progress with the meeting, maybe something you had in mind for us to discuss, and you want to maybe introduce it so that I have it in mind, and then before we proceed, or if not, we can just wait for the first person to give us an update. I don't know if you were able to go to the video of the last meeting, the link I sent.
I was out of town, so I wasn't able to. But with respect to what you're saying, I think that it's a good idea to start observations, to at least get refamiliarized with the telescope, like you said. So I think that's a good idea. And yeah, we should start thinking about first projects specifically for each group, or first steps for each group. So yeah, let's hear what everyone has to say, and then we can kind of go more into detail with that.
Okay, thank you, Amanda. So let's just maybe I'll start calling out names since nobody wants to say something. So where do we start from? Jude, let's start from you.
Okay. Good day, everyone. Good day, Amanda. Thank you for joining us today. Monica, with regards to what you're saying, it's okay to start making observations, like you said. I would suggest we first get acquainted with the process. Like, I'm sure we've forgotten some part of the interface on Slack, and we can try to learn how to use those things again. Actually, practice makes perfect. I know that. So if we can already get started, that will also help, so that in the process, every other person can learn how to make those observations. So the earlier the better, actually. So I like that idea, and it's fine by me. And I think we have materials on both the classroom, Google Classroom, and maybe on previous meeting, maybe on Slack. We have materials that guide on how to use or make observations. So I think we can bring those up or direct ourselves to them and try to use them, so that everybody will be on the same page when we make those observations. And one more thing is, I got an email with you set up a new schedule for these meetings. I didn't get it properly. Maybe if you can throw more light on how you plan on changing the day or the time, that will also help. All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jude. Let me react to the last issue you raised. Actually, that I tried to set up a reminder for myself. So I don't know how I mistakenly highlighted a certain group or a certain mailing list and added it to the calendar. So in fact, that was the reason why we had some new persons that joined our last meeting. Some new persons that joined our last meeting, because I think that mailing list was for a certain Vasco project sometime. So I didn't know. So I had to delete the schedule completely. Our time still remains Tuesdays by 3 o'clock. So probably I'll create another one, then add every other person, so that this reminder can pop up 30 minutes to the meeting for all of us on our Gmails in case we forget. But also, I'll try to be religious with the WhatsApp. Always send a reminder a few hours to the meeting, and that we'll get very used to it, because sometimes we tend to forget because we are busy. So nobody's to be blamed for that. But the reminders also help. So I'll just keep reminding us. And sometimes the calendar helps me too, because I too may forget, but the calendar gives me a reminder, and I'm able to say that. So that is okay. So let's take for the next person. The next Williams, you have it. So Williams, please just let us have your update on what's new in the past 1 week, and what you have done and what you think can be done.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Last time we had meeting, I was not opportune to attend because I was en route to somewhere very important, so I wasn't able to attend the meeting. So I missed every part of the meeting. But from what I've heard so far, I think what Nemeka said about observation, I think is very important to us. that just joined the group. I think it's a very good idea, and to participate in it will still be another advantage to us. I think that's what I have to say at the moment. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, William. All right. So the next person, Musa, please, let's have your update.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Amanda, for joining us. I want to tender my own reserved apology. I also missed the last meeting.
Nemeka, could you give like a brief summary of what you guys did in the last meeting, please?
Okay.
Hello?
Basically, okay. Yeah. So please, can you just hold on a little bit? Let me summarize the brief of the last meeting, then we can proceed.
Okay.
All right. So in the last meeting, like I said, we had two persons that joined, but it was just a kind of misinformation from the calendar which I created. So we had two people from Cameroon. Actually, there were three of them, but one was fluctuating, two were constant. Then we had this kind of update on what we have done so far. So we gave our individual reports in terms of what we've done. So it was myself, Jude was there, Eugene, who else? I think the new person. Okay, Peter, that was there. Maybe I think Peter must have forgotten about this one. Please, someone should just remind him in case I can't do that now. Just drop him a message. Eugene, please remind Peter in case he has forgotten. So Peter was there. So we tried to get an idea of what we have done. So Eugene, Jude gave his own report. Actually, because of the fact that he has more interest in cosmology, I think. So he's trying to work something out by himself. He didn't have any views on the exoplanet, but he's still open to whatever comes out, from the group. He's still willing to join, but his basic interest is in cosmology. So his own project will be linked to that. Eugene gave his own. So Eugene tried to brief us on some of the packages that we can use to run analysis for exoplanet. So I think he talked about Exotic and one other software, which already he said they are open sourced. So we thought these softwares, we can integrate them into the software SEO runs on, so that we can able to always jump from one to the other, like moving data from what we have from SEO Bank and move it to some of those softwares when it's time for analysis. But all this, because we don't have in-depth knowledge on them, we still left it open for discussion when our instructors join us. So we still, for the summary of that part of the report, is that we are going to, look out for, we're going to look out for the basic softwares that we needed, the tools that we need for the reduction and the analysis on whatever exoplanet data we will be collecting over time. So that was for Eugene. And for Peter says that he's been working privately on his globular clusters or trying to pick up generate some isochrones and all that for globular clusters. And he was always in touch with Amanda and Adams whenever he runs into any challenges. So he's basically working on something, but not on the exo planning, but he's still open to join as soon as we commence. Then on my own part, I think I also gave a report on the fact that I felt some of us need to get a ground knowledge of the astronomy, the astrosciences, get grounded, like the basics of the physics guiding astronomy, physics of astronomy first. And it's important to get that knowledge before you can be very efficient with with what we are doing. So it was more like I put up the reminder about the books because I already uploaded 2 materials on the Slack channel, then encouraged those that are not grounded in astronomy to take a look at it. Of course, it's going to help them as we progress. Then also, I also okayed what Eugene suggested in terms of getting the softwares, and we kind of said that as much as the free open source that are free, we'll start from there because we may not have the resources to start buying those ones that we need, but we'll start from the little ones, then progress until we get to the point where we become masters of this. So that's basically then the people that joined in by accident kind of made their introductions and talked about their interests, but then they don't know what we do, but they are willing. So I was supposed to send them a reminder to this effect, and also remind Adam to add them to the group. But also, I felt something we'll talk about. Also, the instructors should be able to give their go ahead before I can do that, because since they joined in by accident, but they are willing to stay back, then if the instructors approve, I will follow back on them, then integrate them fully so that they can join. So probably within this meeting, we can decide on that. Then I can follow up on them before the next meeting. So basically, that's a summary of what transpired. But thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Tameka. That was great. What do you mean by accident? Do you know these people, or are they just random people?
I don't know them in person, but we all worked together during one of the Vasco workshops. I think the Vasco project, Vanishing Astronomical Object over a century of years. So I forgot the acronym, but it's just like there's this project we did sometime where we try to match there are images that were taken in the 50s and other images that were taken previously. So that's current images. So in the project, we try to match the previous images, the old images with the new ones, in order to ascertain whether those objects are still there, whether they vanished, whether they are closed in or something. So that was the project we did. So we had some students who were integrated in that. So it was just like an open stuff where people came and worked on so many images, submitted their reports, and that was it. So when I was trying to create that schedule, I thought that email list, that mailing list, or whatever list I clicked on, I thought it was because it had Glass Education on it. So I didn't know how my calendar messed the whole thing up. So I didn't go through the people that were supposed to be there. So I felt it was for people that, because I know it was not how we started, not the number of people that started that are still existing now. So I felt probably it was the chunk of people that started earlier. And of course, we need numbers of people that are interested to join in so that we can create a bigger community, extend to other countries. So I just did that random. I didn't know the fact. When I was creating the calendar, I thought it was a personal calendar for me. I didn't know it sent messages to all the people in the list. So when I started getting responses, I will attend, I will attend, I will not attend. Some people did not respond at all. So I knew I'd already messed things up. So I just waited for that moment, and 3 people turned up. 2 are interested. So I don't know whether we should probably they are Cameroonians in Africa. So we just give them the room. Then if they can sustain it, fine. If they cannot, they will leave also by themselves. But since they've attended once, I think that we should give them the room, because the interest is to build a community of people with capacity and develop the human resources and the numbers. The more the merrier, so long as everybody's working hard. So I don't know them in person, but I just know that we've worked together virtually sometimes.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. I have no problem with that. Thank you for going over all of that. Do we want to continue with people's updates on what they've been working on?
Yeah, I think we should just wrap that up. We just have 2-3 persons. Okay, so we just Musa, you can just go ahead, but let's just be brief about it so that we can conclude, because the time is running.
Okay, so as regards to my own update, like I said initially, I had missed the meeting because of some unforeseen circumstances. However, since I indicated interest to be part of the exoplanet group, and I just what I did was to get myself ready in terms of the packages as Eugene initially suggested, even though I didn't attend. So I got a rundown and just like a brief. So for me, on my Linux partition, I have Exotic already installed and it is running. And then I'm also watching videos on how to use test data on Exotic. And then also I want to suggest that, as Jude initially said, if possible, if that can be the next target for our class, to get ourselves acquainted with materials and resources for that observation, so that everybody will be carried along. I think that is my suggestion. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Musa. Let's take Arik, welcome. And we're glad to have you join us today. It's been a long time since we had you around. So how are you doing? How is school? And how's your internet now? Is it better? Has it improved?
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. So in the past while, I've had network issues, most especially with the place where I live. So I've moved on to a new place, and the new place where I live now, the network connection is more fluent. So I think henceforth I'll be able to be attending the meetings that are going to be held here. And equally, I got a new laptop, so I think I'll be able to run most of the projects that will be launched here, during our meetings, and do the assignments that will be given to us.
Okay, yeah, it's okay. Although I was struggling a bit to hear you, but it's fine. So we are back now, and our meeting holds by 3 p.m. every Tuesday, bi-weekly, like every other week. So the next meeting will be in 2 weeks, except if there's something going on and we need to meet earlier than schedule. So good to have you back. So we'll hear from Eugene. Please, can you just give us a recap, just very briefly? Then Chris, warm up after Eugene, then Peter.
Oh, okay. Good day, everyone. I think everything has actually been said. I just feel that we all should have our packages ready and in preparation for a possible hands-on experience. So I think it's fine with going with the whole idea of trying to get ourselves acquainted again or remind or get familiar again with the telescope while the new comers get to like know what is going on. So I think after that, then we can just go head on and begin to observe and then try and see how we can analyze and do good science. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Eugene, for that. So I think while we, when we are trying to push up for the observation and always during the demo class or something, you should also be able to share with us how we can get those packages running. That's when we decide if we are going to use, since you have already installed it. I think Musa says he has installed also. We should be able, both of you should be able to guide us through, so that to be much easier for us to do that. So thank you very much. So Chris, can we hear from you?
Good afternoon. So sorry.
Good afternoon. We can hear you.
Yeah, so sorry I came late, though I should say I only heard Ulrich clearly, but I don't know the exact question that he was answering, but he was talking about the packages and how to get the intro to the telescope, but I don't really know like what he was answering. I was in class, so I just came out from class and joined. So sorry about that.
Okay, Chris, actually what the agenda now we are rolling up is we're trying to give an update of what we did in the last 1 week and what we think we can do in the coming week. So if you have just probably added anything to what was done in the last 1 week, maybe something different that you have done, just like an update, a recap, that's all. And if you have suggestions, recommendations with regards to the next coming weeks, you can also go ahead and state it. That's all. That's the agenda for now.
Okay, I don't know, but I think if we should say we go for a personal reading, some of us may find it challenging to get that done. But when there is a uniform assignment, we may be able to put something down on the table. So we should, if we are going by group, the group involved in exoplanets and the group involved in extragalactic studies, for each group, we should be able to give each person. For me, I hardly, because of my tight schedule, something will definitely take my time, one thing or the other, my lessons and everything. I might just give in to the other, but when we have like a meeting schedule now, as I just rushed out of the class and still join the class, it would have been better if we have maybe somebody leading a particular group, then, or even if we don't have anybody leading the particular group, or we should just agree within ourselves that we are going to meet at a time and let's do this task. We go through a particular something, then you say something about this, maybe in this week, then the second week we'll be able to have what to bring to the table of the general house. But if we are not doing it, if we just do it, go on your own, come back in 2 weeks' time, what do you have for the general house? Like me now, honestly, I didn't do much. I'm sorry, I may not be able to say this is what I achieved for the general house. But when by maybe we must have met within the week and we did a topic on this, even if it's a hands-on session or how to, we started with maybe GitHub and how to get info from GitHub. Then for those in exoplanning, so maybe we can now talk about how to use the research gate, not research gate, but this is it archive, ARXB or something. Then just from there, we'll continue how to summarize the paper. So if you now ask us, what do we have? We'll be like, okay, we learned how to read a research paper in this group, or this is what this group did. Then, okay, can you explain to us, the group explain to us how a research paper is best summarized. Then we do that. Then from there, we'll go to another task. If I have a presentation, I won't stop. I won't sit down and just want to come and say, I didn't prepare anything. So it will giving task to present, or maybe the small units should be able to keep their house together and get a task that will favor everybody. At least for a start, all tasks should be able to favor everybody. Both the tasks coming from the exoplanet group and the task coming from the extragalactic studies is a general research task that will favor all, which any group can present, like, and it will be a nice one. So when we meet together like this, we will learn from each other. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Chris, for that wonderful suggestion. Yeah, we hope we'll get there. We are getting there gradually. You know, the consolidation process takes a little time, but we'll get there. I think maybe by the time maybe a few more meetings, we should be able to get to that point. But then what we are trying to do now is a bit of trying to get hold of where we should be able to start from. Some people are more knowledgeable in stuff like this more than the others. But I think for the exoplanet, it looks like all of us are a bit on the same page, but not just like within the same periphery. So we are going to learn on the job per se. So, but for others, I think we should integrate at some point. We'll come together. We'll always learn. Like I still remember when we used to have our presentations, we bring papers, we dissect them, we divide them into sections, and people get to read about them, come and present to us for a better understanding. So we'll still get back to that point. But for now, we're just trying to consolidate and build our interest and confidence back. So thank you very much for those suggestions, and let us all keep working hard. I think, is there any other person that wants to give an update? Any other person? Okay. Okay, none for now. So we just we'll take comments from Amanda. Then okay, Gotson is here. Gotson, welcome. How is Zambia today? Gotson, can you hear me? Okay, I think Gotson can respond in the chat if
I can hear you very well. Achu,
okay.
I said I'm sorry, I'm joining late. I'm sorry.
That's no problem. Yeah. So
Yeah.
how do you do? How is Zambia today?
Everything is fine. I didn't get the beginning of the meeting, so I can't really say much, but I'll just follow along.
Okay, we're just talking about if you can share with us what you have done with regards to the exoplanet things we talked about in the last meeting. You joined us in one of the meetings, I guess.
Yeah, I joined one of the meetings. I remember vividly.
Yeah. So if you have made any progress with what we talked about, you can just share the progress you've made, and then if you have any suggestions on the way forward, because we are just going to kick off right anytime from now with the observations and getting acquainted with the hands-on, while we define the main project we are going to carry out. So if you have anything in mind, it's just the time to air.
Okay, I think for now, I think I'm a bit low on what to say. Let me just follow along. But I'll still do some further research on what I may have as regard to the project at hand. And I may want to switch my phone to my laptop, so I may actually go offline. But please just continue the meeting and keep me updated. Please, I'll follow along.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
There's no problem. The recording will be uploaded.
Yeah, please.
Afternoon.
Thank you.
Yeah, then okay. So okay, Amanda, please, can hear from you now.
Yeah, so can you guys hear me? It says my internet is not like stable.
Yes, very well. We can hear you.
Okay, great. Okay, so thank you everyone for going over, giving us your thoughts and comments. Thanks to Mecca as always for organizing and for leading this. I think that this is awesome. You're doing a great job, all of you. So I think that it will be a good idea to organize an observing session maybe sometime this week, so that people can dive right into it. I'm thinking about the best way to do that because I feel like if everyone is, if we're all on Zoom, then it's fun, but if we're all kind of separate on Slack, then we should be doing it in smaller groups. So like 2-3 people maybe at a time. So let's figure out, Nameka, would you be able to schedule something like that, an observing run?
Yeah, I think I'll discuss with Adam after his program later today. That we can schedule an observing run, probably starting from Friday this week. Because I already asked him if that could work on Friday this week or next. So he said it's great. So we'll just see if Friday the weather is clear because the rain is coming. So I don't know, the weather is a bit changed. I don't know how it is for you guys over there, but here we are beginning to have poor visibility gradually. So, but we check, I and Adam will check if the sky is clear. We can observe them. I think that should work.
Okay, great. I also am thinking that maybe you guys can do, so I have this like project thing that I did in a class to get everyone acquainted with some important tools in astronomy. So one of them is, I don't know if you've heard of SIMBAD, for example, but I'm thinking that maybe I can quote unquote assign this. So let me share my screen. So it looks like this, and I put that it should be due May 16th, so in 2 weeks. It should take you less time than that. It shouldn't take you that long. But this is a good maybe start for everyone to get acquainted with some useful tools in astronomy. This one is called, it's the Strasbourg site. And here, let me reshare. And it's just a nice place to get acquainted with how to look up objects. I use this all the time. So if I wanted to look up M31, here's all the information on it. It gives you all of like the fluxes. It gives you a picture of what it looks like. You can also change it based on the survey that you care about. So this is in DSS, but you can change it to like 2MASS in different wavelengths, etc. And then there's additional information here. So let's say you wanted the distance. You can select that and display those measurements. And it shows you people who have published distances to M31, for example. So I think that this is a good, maybe first thing that everyone can do before we start doing, before we start splitting up into groups to do group specific projects. I do have some labs similar to this for the exoplanet people. and for the globular cluster people. But maybe we can hold off on that until we finish this kind of basic first thing. And this way we can also get an idea of how people work and whether or not how much work is appropriate for a 2-week period and how much time you have. So for next time, we can finish this, and we should already, by the time we meet next, we should already have observed together. So those are my 2 goals for the next session. What do you think about that?
It's a brilliant idea. I love it. I was struggling once with Simba to trying to understand how to do some of this stuff. I got stuck. I think if we follow the model you said you're trying to lay down now, it's going to be a very good start for every one of us, especially myself. I really want to follow the model and see how it progresses. I think it will be a very good one. I love the idea. Guys, what do you think?
Awesome. Thanks, Scotsman.
I think it's a good way to start learning, and it's already well planned, and it made up material and steps for that. It's to help us all while we plan the observation. We can also have this to do on our own. It's very good. I like it. Like it.
Awesome. Okay. It sounds like we're pretty much in consensus. Does anyone have other thoughts?
Other thoughts like a contrary opinion, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I don't have a contrary opinion. I was just going to support the idea because for me, I'm so excited because there was some work I was supposed to do last year, and that made me to go in search of some of those tools, Simbad, also the CDS platform, and also Vizier. So I was, trying to learn on my own how to use them. All of a sudden, I lost interest, but I think I'm so excited because this is now popping up now, and for update's sake, I also have Simbad on my Linux and some other tools too that is already installed for me. So I'm so excited. I think it's a good way to start. Thank you, everyone.
Awesome. Great. So where would be best for us to upload materials for you guys to see? Are you okay with Slack, or do you prefer like a Google Drive? Because I don't want to upload the PDFs on WhatsApp unless you really think that that's the best way to do it, just so that they can be contained in one location. What do you guys think? What's easiest?
I think Google Drive is more flexible for me. I think it's something you can have access to. Sometimes for you to scroll and call up a document on WhatsApp, it's very difficult. Then on Slack too, sometimes you have a lot of activities going on. So people tend to send in a lot of stuff. You have to scroll up and down. But Google Drive, you pin the link and everybody can just go there and pick up. That's how we work with Matt. It was very efficient.
Okay, that's helpful. So let me create a new folder for this C's 2.0. Let's see. New folder. And then once I upload it, where do you want me to send the link? On WhatsApp?
Sorry, I want to come again.
Where would you like me to? Oh, the link is in Slack already. It's pinned to the channel, right? So
Okay.
is that fine, or do you want me to put the link to the Google Drive and the WhatsApp?
Well, yeah, the link on for Slack is okay. And also you can put it on WhatsApp, then everybody can start it, you know.
Okay.
You can start the link, yeah.
Okay. So let me. Okay. So I'll go ahead and do that. And that's I think that's sufficient for me for today. So if you guys want to talk about something else. Okay. Okay, it's uploading. So yeah, so let's figure out a time to observe. And I just uploaded this thing so people can start getting acquainted with some common tools in astronomy.
Okay, thank you so much, Amanda, for that. So I'll just go ahead and finalize with Adams and get back to the group and when we are starting and what we are going to do so that people can have in mind what is up before the session.
That sounds good. And yeah, for the next time, I'll try to have some foundational material for that's specific to each group as well. So have sort of an introductory similar kind of lab for like exoplanets, globular clusters, and the people in the extragalactic group. And then we can start to try to like branch off into our individual projects better. But for now, yeah, this is like the ramp up. So it's good to have everyone on the same page.
Okay, thank you, Amanda.
Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, everyone. Did anyone hear from Adam? How is he doing? He couldn't join us.
Yeah, Adam is fine. He has another program that is ongoing at the office. So I think he didn't know that they are going to interfere with each other. So he sent his apologies. He actually opened up the chat room, the meeting room before going back to what he was doing. So I guess probably next meeting he will be available.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so Amanda, I don't know if you still have any other thing to say to us before we take general comment from the group. Any other person? We'll take from you first if you have any other thing to say.
I think that's it. The only thing I would add maybe is, and I don't want to keep you guys waiting right now, but maybe before we observe, it'll be good for some of you to go through some of the Google Classroom presentations just to get, again, like acquainted with the observing process. I can send the specific like presentation that maybe would be good to go over. I'll send that on Slack as well, and in the WhatsApp, I guess. And we can go from there, just so that people, again, like instead of diving into it without context, at least having some kind of preparation or preparatory understanding before we start observing, which will hopefully be helpful. But that's it. That's all I have.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Amanda. I think that's a very good suggestion because it has a way of putting everyone in the same spirit and conditioning our mind so that, because I know that some of those syntax will be looking so strange by the time we log in the next time. So I think it's very good. I also try to go through the All-Sky survey and see if I can make reference to some of those videos. And then maybe people can also look at previous observing sessions and see what they look like, if any was recorded. And then also the Google Classroom document will also be helpful for the theoretical inclinations. And so I think that will make sense. Thank you very much for that suggestion. I know everybody has taken note of that. All right, please, let's take any other general comments. Ulrich, you have something else you want to say? Every other person, please. If you want to say something, the floor is open for you. Just go ahead. We have the next couple of minutes to do that before we wrap up for the day. Or if there are no comments, just give us a thumbs up, like you are good. We can proceed and wrap up for the day. If you don't have any comment, give us a thumbs up. No thumbs up means you want to say something. Okay. Ulrich, you want to say something? Ulrich, do you have any input, any contribution you want to make? Okay, yes. All right. If you have any other thing to add, you can also always do that on the Slack, on the WhatsApp channel.
Sorry,
Okay.
Amanda, I don't know if maybe you're at work and you want to go back to work. I have this direct question I wanted to ask.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I just saw your message on Facebook. Is that the one you wanted to ask?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, we can continue our conversation offline.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, so I think in the absence of any other contributions or comments, we can just wrap it up for the day and adjourn to the possible observation session, the meeting in 2 weeks. So, but until then, please, let's just keep working hard and keep doing the little we can, and hopefully very soon. The idea is that at least we should get some good papers this year and should be able to present in ASP and maybe any other possible conference that comes up. So that's the goal this year. We're starting up again. So I think that being said, we want to thank everybody for joining, most especially our instructor Amanda for making our time irrespective of our tight schedule. And also for every other person here who made our time to be here up to this point. I want to say thank you. We ask that you keep it up. Keep working hard, and together we will get to our final destination. So thank you all, and we see you again on the next meeting. Then should be communicated as if we're having a session before the meeting in 2 weeks' time. So thank you all, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, and thanks as always, Nameka, for organizing this and leading this.
Thank you, everybody.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Have a good day.
Yeah.